Blah, blah, blah. Still going to space. Still going to space. Now we're live. Hi, everyone. I am here with Eric Anderson and Hannah Gamiel. Did I pronounce that right?
Gamiel, it's fine. No worries.
Okay. And we're here for the Cyan State of the Union. So, Eric, introduce yourself. What do you
Hi,
do?
I'm Eric. I am the creative director at Cyan. I've been with the company a long time and worked on a lot of things. That's about it.
You make lots of really nice looking things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do art and a little bit of art programming and creative direction type things. Yeah.
And you've been responsible for a lot of the really cool custom like shaders. I'm thinking the water moving and abduction stuff. And
Yeah. I do all of I'm our primary technical artist and do all the shader pipeline stuff. All those things. Yeah.
Awesome. Hannah.
Eric, you do more than just a little bit of those things.
a little bit.
That's true.
A little bit.
I'm Hannah Gamiel. I am the development director at Cyan. I have not been at Cyan as long as Eric has. I am just a baby compared to him, I think. But I've worked on Abduction. I've worked on this latest Myst iteration. I'm working on Firmament too. And Eric and I both worked at Tekla prior to returning to Cyan. So yeah, I do programming, I do business development, I do a lot of things.
Hannah of many hats.
Hannah of many hats.
We all wear too many hats around here. It's a hallmark.
Valid.
Yeah. But that's what makes it fun. So
it's true.
Yeah, that's a bit about me.
Awesome. So this last year has been pretty interesting, but Cyan's doors are still open. So if you're comfortable talking about it, what were some of the challenges of trying to navigate working from home versus, I see you have a nice puppers in the background there and, like.
For sure. Yeah. The first step was just getting our infrastructure almost entirely based online, or accessible online. And thankfully we had started doing that, thankfully in the fall of 2019, obviously not knowing what was coming.
Right.
And so by the time March came around, almost everything was just ready to go to use remotely. We just hadn't done that kind of a test with everybody just yet. So it took a few weeks, but we got online. And nowadays it's mostly just like a lot of people's kids were out of school for a while, so they needed to watch them and teach them and like be a parent and a teacher at the same time and an employee. So that is probably one of the biggest hurdles I think many of us have faced. Thankfully, I just have a fur baby, not a child who needs schooling. But otherwise, we somehow managed to ship a game during the pandemic. And that is quite a feat.
I was gonna say that's a phenomenal achievement. That's well done.
Thank you. Yeah, the team did a really good job for sure.
Yeah. Some weeks it felt like we were even more productive being remote, especially when we really just needed to focus. And the thing about being remote is like, when you're in the office, we need to get a meeting together. Okay, well, let's gather all the people and get them to the conference room and sit down and get people up to speed. And what's the context of this meeting? And there was a conversation in Slack the other day. There's a million things need to come together. When you're at home and you need to have a meeting, you can get everybody that you need instantaneously with instant context, and you can just solve the problem and then get back to work without any travel to the conference room. Yeah, it's been really nice.
Sorry, my video is fritzing.
Oh
wow.
Oh no.
That was being consumed.
There we go. I think you're fine now.
Okay.
Brand new webcam. It's already giving me problems. Sorry. Oh my goodness sakes.
If you need to drop the camera out, that's totally fine.
I might need to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just. All right, you get to stare at a profile for a little while.
That's fine.
Sorry about that. Plot twist. So I need to reorient my brain here. So there's fun stuff happening with Myst, and that launched. What else is going on your guys' end?
Well, we are trying to launch Myst on some other platforms now. We announced we're bringing it to PC and Mac soon. And additionally, firmament work is still ongoing.
Sure.
Eric can speak more to that. But yeah, firmament is now like it has been really, but it's we have the design passes going through right now, continuing to do so, and hoping to get some more gameplay into it within the next like few months, and hopefully still on target to ship sometime late next year. For sure.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I want to take a step back and talk. You said like, what's the company working on? The short answer is lots of things, multiple projects, which was sort of a objective when Hannah and I came back a couple of years ago, and it's been awesome. We hit our goal on multiple projects. B, the bad news is we hit our goal. We're doing multiple projects. And it's been a learning experience. Juggling projects and juggling resources and working alongside partners and trying to align our objectives. And it's been really, really good. I think we're in a better spot now in terms of just like the horizon, the future, than we've been in a long time. And that feels really, really good.
That's fantastic.
And everyone's passionate about the stuff we're working on. Firmament specifically, it's going great. We're like Rand has always said, it's the narrative that we are the most proud of, I think, of anything we've done in recent memory. And I would loudly second that. I'm super, super excited about the story we're telling. I'm super excited about the tone of the game. It's going to be a little bit of a divergence from sort of Myst, which is I would say a little more lighthearted, right? It's a little more, it doesn't have a super heavy story. I know we'll get people online be like, oh, Myst has a super rich story with the brothers and the waitress and like, but we're too close to it. We just chuckle at it. It's like the bad dad narrative. We have to be vague about a lot of the stuff about the chainsaws we're juggling because some of the horizons are further out, and we'll share when we're able.
Well, happy to answer more questions, but I have some stuff I am more than happy to share with.
Go ahead and launch your presentation. I kind of want to see that.
Sure. Yeah. One sec. Let me get it going. All right. Share screen. All right. Just confirming.
Yep.
Everyone can see this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Eric and I kind of wanted to surprise everybody with a little bit of maybe more of a sneak peek than people were thinking this would be. So this will be a very, very quick presentation, so to speak, just to give like an overview. And then Eric will jump into the actual game and show a little bit more off, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Yeah. Oh no. Just to look back, some of the stuff I don't think we've actually told very many people publicly, but the proof of concept for this version of Myst was made back in December 2019.
Okay.
It was a completely separate iteration from the Myst VR version that I think people have seen on various artists' portfolios and stuff. That was done a few years before then. So this was a completely separate iteration. We wanted to see if it could run on some platforms, and it did. And we started real development, as in like we threw some people at it in January of 2020. So the whole game kind of just like came together within a year, and shipped on Quest in December 2020, which was cray, but it was really great and a lot of fun and really challenging. And one of the reasons why I know some people keep asking, like, why is it only on Quest right now? Well, we are a small team and I can't imagine shipping on multiple platforms simultaneously after only having worked on the game for a year. Like that's literally just impossible for our team to handle at this point. Mm-hmm. Plus we had Firmament going too. So we knew if we were to do that kind of effort, it would require like an all hands on deck thing, which we weren't willing to commit to. So
Hannah, for people who might not be familiar with Quest or what it means to be in Quest development, could you give just like super high 30,000 foot context for what that actually means? Like, because people think of Quest as a VR device. Oh, it must be super powerful. It's a VR device, right?
Sure, that's a very good point, Eric. Oculus Quest platforms, particularly Quest 1, is a mobile VR headset that essentially runs on a 4-year-old Android phone. This is not like a device that was necessarily designed to run high fidelity VR or really high fidelity just about anything. Nor does it have the space to contain the data for any kind of like high fidelity stuff. So it was definitely an interesting challenge trying to get Myst to run well in VR, look really good, and still deliver like a fun mobile experience. And I'd argue that it did accomplish that. And it seems like people are enjoying it so far. Like there's something really special about being able to take a VR headset completely untethered from your computer or anything else, taking it to your mom's house, taking it outside, whatever, and just like playing a game on it without wires at all. It really is magical. Quest 2, the following iteration for the Quest 1 is a little bit more powerful and it makes development slightly easier, but it's still not PC VR fidelity. So hopefully that that explains a little bit of the process. And in most cases, and Eric can talk about this more too, when he shows everybody the editor and stuff, we had to make completely separate assets for the mobile version of Myst. And that's just because they needed to be optimized in a special way to run well on mobile is the gist of it. So it took a lot of like special efforts to get this game running on Quest. And so that's the gist of Quest development.
And I'm sure we'll... Quest.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was I've seen a lot of Quest devices used in like senior homes. It's a great way to bring a fun environment or a nostalgic environment for folks who are struggling with dementia or, you know, whatever, what have you. I saw one clip of David Attenborough who was presented with essentially a dinosaur VR recreation. And so like, it was a beautiful way to show that, but like, it's a powerful tool in some senses, but yeah, I can understand that there would be a lot of challenges. Just
to be clear, we don't mean to poo-poo on the device at all, because it is by far the best like foot in the door for VR. It is the price point's fantastic, and if you just want to like you said, take it to somebody who's never in their life experienced VR, whether they be your grandma or just somebody who's just not a techie, you can hand them this thing and they can put it on their head and immediately be immersed in a virtual space. And it's astounding. But from a developer standpoint, there were some pain points, but we overcame them. So
yeah, for sure, we managed to ship on it, and that was a feat. And hey, people love their Quests too. Like, it seems like mobile VR might be the way of the future. So it's a very interesting platform to keep in mind. So currently, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the panel, we are working to get Myst to run on a variety of platforms, and PC and Mac versions of the game will be released Q3 this year. And we are actually currently in Q3, which means we will be shipping anytime between now and September 30th.
Awesome.
So at least that's the hope. We do not have a final date out yet because we have to get through some certain hurdles that give us more assurance for the date, and just work with external partners on like a good date for release. So once we have a good date, we will of course let everyone know, and it'll be in our emails or on Twitter or anything like that. So follow us on Twitter if you haven't already.
Yes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, Hannah.
Don't forget to smash that like button, everybody. Smash that like button. So this is the fun part of the presentation, and we haven't really shown things like this to the public yet, other than just showing OG Myst, like Myst Masterpiece Edition versus the current Myst. This one will have shots from the Quest version as well, since the Quest version was kind of the first taste people got of this newer version of Myst. And for the sake of just showing, how the different platforms will look like, and also, remembering that one is built for mobile and one you have to pay, money to buy a PC for. So of course it looks better. Just keeping all those factors in mind as you look at these shots and still understand like the experience is fun and different on all of these platforms. Like it does, just because a shot looks a little bit poopier than the other one, like doesn't mean it's a worse experience. So Eric, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say like the honestly, the VR immersion makes up for a lot of the of the poopiness. Because I was probably the loudest critic of what the things that we had to do to get it to run on Quest. I'm aware of that. But when you're in there and you're suddenly like standing on Mist Island, surrounded by all the stuff that you expect. And it's there, and you can walk up to it, you can walk over to it, and you can start grabbing things and pulling handles and pushing buttons.
It is really special.
You don't care as much about the textile fidelity or the amount of foliage or the fact that there's not blades of grass on the ground.
Right.
And the good news is for people who don't care about VR, and I totally understand that perspective as well. Like I don't need VR, just give me a beautiful game. Well, that was our mission for the PC version of Myst, is to deliver that.
For sure.
Honestly, before we show the comparisons, I want to back up again and just one thing we didn't talk about was like why Myst again, right? Why are we doing Myst again? Why did we choose to go back to the island? And I think it would be worth it to talk a little bit about some of our objectives, the primary objective there, which was we wanted to and Hannah, feel free to jump in on any of this or correct anything you get wrong. We wanted to not just make a game that like the hardcore fans would get to play again, because you guys have played like 6 versions of Myst. You don't need another version of Myst. What we really wanted to do is we wanted to make a version of Myst that would open the door to a whole new generation of people who have never played Myst, or they think of Myst as that's that game my dad played. Or my grandpa played.
Oh, right. So they're used to fancy graphics, and then they go to Myst, and it's not as fancy, and they're like,
Exactly. If you take somebody who's been playing, Uncharted games their whole life, and you plop them down in front of a slideshow that's 30 years old, they're going to bounce right off of it. They're not going to get pulled in. They're not going to understand what everybody watching this understands about the product. So our number one goal, was to not recreate Myst, to not just take original Myst and make it look like more high fidelity. The goal was to rebuild Myst, not the way it looked, but the way we remember it looking. Like that weird abstract picture in your head when you remember when you were a kid, or if you were like me when I was in college playing Myst. I have this picture in my head of what it was like to stand on the Channelwood walkways, or to stand on the deck of the ship in Stone Ship. And the goal was to bring people back to that feeling, not get stuck on the details of what the original did. And so we deviated in lots of places. We made new choices and we made new aesthetics. So anyway, hopefully that gives a little bit of a context of like what the objective was from the outside.
Yeah. And I think as far as like from a user's perspective, I'm kind of comparing this new fancy version of Myst to Abduction, because like Abduction, that was, if I remember right, that was kind of Cyan's first venture into the graphic bar that you guys are setting right now. But like I'm still even now seeing people going, oh, my computer can't handle Abduction, I haven't played it yet. And so by doing Quest, that kind of eliminates the need for a fancy computer that can handle the game. Like, is that kind of...
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. The barrier to entry for VR, especially for Myst, is much lower than it probably was for Abduction in the beginning. And additionally, we have a really strong pipeline right now that maybe Eric will go a little bit more into, but I'm sure one day we'll probably have to just do an entire talk
we'll do some talks on it. Yeah.
About that essentially is giving us more flexibility in targeting lower end platforms in a way. And that's the very high overview of it, but it's an internal tool that we've spent at least a year on now, and we're very, very happy with it.
You're not wrong about Abduction. Like that was not just our first foray into like sort of modern graphics. None of us had tons of experience in the Unreal Engine back then. That was like our first Unreal Engine game. And we didn't really plan as well for optimization. This time around, it's been optimization in the front of our minds from Go. And I think as a result, we're able to make the game look better on hand machines, and we're able to make the game run on a much broader spectrum of low-end machines as well, and still look really nice. So that's something we've really been focusing on as a company the last many years.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I will say, for those who might be looking at our Steam page and looking at our min spec and going like, wait a second, like that's not an easier barrier to entry. You have to understand that's the minimum requirement for PC VR right now, according to Oculus's website.
Yeah.
So if we can't have separate 2D and VR min specs on our Steam page, so we kind of just chose the like highest option for that, just to make sure we didn't have people expecting they could play VR on their, GTX 780 or something like that in Myst. With that said, if you don't have that kind of VR equipment, you could get the Quest version, or there are some features we did just announce, I think about a month ago, that we will be including Fidelity FX FSR in our game, which allows, it's essentially a super sampling technique that can downres the game in the background and then make the pixels like look higher quality, and make the game run pretty well on a lower end platform. So I'd recommend for those who might be like, I'm not sure if I'll be able to buy this game, my hardware isn't up to spec, try it out and mess with the super sampling options, and you might be pleasantly surprised with how good the game will look and how good it'll run. Anyway, so that's kind of an aside, but
let's get down these shots.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Shots.
So we got the OG Myst Masterpiece Edition, well, sort of OG, but this is what the dock looked like originally.
Yeah.
This is the version we have on Oculus Quest.
Okay.
And this is the version on PC in Myst.
Yeah.
I should say the reason why these two shots look almost identical in location rotation is because they were taken with an automated system we have that's been doing this for like almost a year now. So it's really awesome. We're able to kind of take before and after photos really easily that way. So this shot on Quest, I think, was taken just before we launched. It might look a little bit different now. But yeah, the dock, definitely you can tell,
it's
like Eric said, talking about like the optimization system we had for Quest, we had to remove, a variety of things like draw calls, and we decided the ropes on the ship were a good candidate for that sort of thing. So you'll see, if you are gonna be the kind of person who goes in and directly compares the two, you're gonna see maybe there are some extra flares in the PC version that don't exist in the Quest version, which makes sense. So that's the dock. Then we've got the library. And that's what it looks like on Quest as of like just before we shipped in December. And this is what it looks like on PC. You'll see we have, grass in there now. We've got some better fog. We've got a variety of things that, our teams worked really, really hard on to make look good and stuff for PC. And I think I have one last shot before we'll let Eric jump into his stuff. Yeah. We've got, this is just the view to the clock tower from Myst Island. And on Quest, it looked like this. Okay. And on PC, it looks like this now. So just like a general increase of fidelity, but again, just remember, like, one of them you can put on your head and use anywhere. And that's the benefit of that. This one, we're really proud of, the way it looks, and are really excited to get this in everybody's hands.
You should be proud. This is amazing.
Yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
I think that was pretty much it on my end.
Sure.
So Eric, if you wanted to jump in.
See if I can get this working.
So while Eric's working on that, which came first? Optimization or fancy?
So it's complicated because
that question came in a few times.
Optimization system enabled us to start with fancy and optimize downward in a way. But with that said, there's like setup to that process. It's not like you just make one extremely high res asset and it knows how to like make it look good on the low end. There's some custom configuration, but we did know we wanted to target PC eventually, and it was really important we start off with like really good looking stuff. So Eric, I don't know if you have anything more you want to add to that, but
no. Yeah, we had to prioritize Quest just due to having never really launched on that platform before. There were far more unknowns, and so yeah, we sort of skewed towards the low end first.
I just said the opposite.
Yeah. Sorry. In my brain, what I was going to say is like I feel like it's we have sort of future facing. We're trying to not do that. I think targeting the high end and then going down is the right way to go.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a little too much truth in that statement, but like yeah, I feel like we skewed a little too low for the Quest, and therefore getting the PC version up, we learned some really valuable lessons about like, let's not do that again. Let's the way we did it, because
okay. Which you'll find actually like the majority of recommendations out in the wild for developers is start low, go high. But they don't have systems like ours that we have now, which could handle the opposite situation a little bit better.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw a disclaimer out there for the audience. It's clipping. It's just Zoom doesn't like this. We tried many things and Zoom's just cranky. So the frame rate's not going to be fantastic. And I'm
trying to be extremely careful as I move around, because I know the more motion there is in the frame, the more it's gonna drop. It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
On my machine, this is running at 120 frames a second.
Wow.
And this is epic settings, right?
Yeah, full settings. Yeah.
Okay. Eric, I actually have a question. So I was streaming with Rand last night as he was playing through Miss Masterpiece, which was phenomenal. And we had a question about the door to the observatory. There was a crest on that door. And he said there were changes in the new version, but he wasn't really sure what those changes were. Yeah.
Okay. So we one of our artists, Lance Vermeer, did a pass on the crest just not that long ago. We were trying to up res some textures that we were identifying as just a little too low res for the PC version. We really just wanted to get as much juice out of the PC version as possible.
Yeah.
And this crest came up, and there was a discussion in our channels about like, oh well, maybe we could get a high res of the original, and we pulled Rand into the conversation, and he wasn't sure of the origin of the original coin, but he said it wasn't something super significant to the story. And so to just go ahead and replace it with something that was sort of the same flavor. And so Lance just jumped into ZBrush and in like half an hour sculpted out a new crest.
Good job, Lance.
Yeah. And
that's really good.
I actually am not certain specifically of why he chose this piece, but I actually really like it. The direction that I gave him was like, it would be nice if we could have some element of stars or astronomy visible, because it is it's the planetarium. And so he's got this sort of like father figure with the two brothers and a field of stars and some,
and they're named after constellations.
Yep.
Which was a new discovery for me recently. And
absolutely perfect replacement. As part of that discussion though, it was funny because we were trying to figure out how to get a hold of a high-res version of the original crest that was there.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned that I guess Strata, the new Strata 3D, which is still around. Apparently there's a package of assets floating out there in the world that is assets from the original Myst. And one of those assets is a high-res version of this coin from the original Myst.
Wow.
Yeah. So we considered putting like a plussed up version of the original coin in there, but ended up not doing
this.
So.
I like this though. This fits better than kind of
unbuilt texture up there.
Yeah. Oh, and the doors. Okay.
Oh no, go ahead, jump in.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't see an obvious seam in the wood texture, so I didn't realize the doors were going to open that way. I thought it was going to swing open. Slide open. I didn't know they were going to do that. So I was like, why is there a split in the middle of it? Yeah. Oh, that's
Hannah, do you want to talk real quickly about why our doors work the way they work in this game?
Yes. We made a conscious decision to not have any doors swing out or in toward the player, because in VR that can get a little complicated.
Yes.
So all doors slide into the wall, left to right, up, down, but not like toward or away from you.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. That looks like a stoplight kind of a thing. Is that the look that you were going for?
One of our artists, Blake Bierke, did these, and it's based off of Nixie tube technology, which is sort of like early 20th century. It's a relative of like neon tube technology. So yeah.
Actually, maybe there's something else we could say about that too, which is like a lot of things in the original Myst felt kind of like magical in a way, like where they were like weirdly discoverable, like you had to click on the painting, like know to click on the painting for it to swirl and then open the bookcase. I think we tried to go back to more like steampunky mechanical roots, like maybe there's a mechanism behind every puzzle in this game.
Hence the buttons below those little symbols instead of clicking on the symbol itself. And
precisely.
Yeah, I'll go into the library here and illustrate. I watched Rand's playthrough on Myst yesterday, and he commented a little bit on this as well. Sort of the contrast between Myst and Riven was that Myst, there was far more magical or unexplained things. Yeah. And so as part of our desire to sort of remaster this in a more consistent way, part of that was figuring out ways to make interfaces that would still work the same but wouldn't be as magical, right? The idea of coming up and like sticking your finger in a painting, it doesn't make any sense. And especially in like the current version where we really do want this to look like an oil painting, right?
I was going to say that looks fantastic.
Yeah. And so, but what do? Do you stick your face in the painting? That doesn't make any sense. So we added, mechanical elements. So in the case of these paintings, we've got mechanical handles under the frames. In the case of the tower rotation, it's actually like a physically rotating dial that the player actually could grab. And
I like that. It does make a lot more sense and looks a lot more like the tower that it's just. Yes.
Yeah. And in VR, imagine this isn't just about mouse clicks. This is about if I was standing here in VR and this thing was right in front of me, my hand is able to reach out and grab this thing and rotate it. And it just it feels good.
I love it.
I'll do the painting real quick.
I think it works really well.
I still do the painting twist effect. You probably couldn't see it, but it looked really cool.
Oh no, we can see that.
Okay.
Yeah, we could definitely see
that looks really cool.
We had to figure out this is spoilers for anybody who hasn't played Myst, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is a challenge, right? What everyone loves the fireplace in Myst library. Tell me, Kelly. Here's the quiz. It's pop quiz. You in VR, how are you going to get the player into the fireplace?
You have to crouch.
Okay. What about what if you have a player in a wheelchair?
Valid. Yeah.
What if you're playing seated? What if you're a player who doesn't want to stand up while they play? They want to sit seated.
Yeah. Or a player who doesn't play action games and isn't used to pressing a crouch button.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Like me. I actually usually am seated when I'm playing VR personally, just because of motion sickness issues.
Sure. So we had to get creative. How do you get into the fireplace? Well, let's lean into our steampunk machinations, right?
Oh, that's cool.
You lift the whole fireplace up.
That's really cool.
How far do I have to go before it drops down?
I think you have to leave the library.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Or go into the hallway.
There we go. We can see it going down there. So.
Oh yeah.
Had to get creative.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that some of that stuff seems really simple. I can assure you that some of the stuff that we pulled our hair out the most about was things that were seemingly simple, and it's like, oh my God, how do we do that?
Right.
Apologies for compression.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's Zoom being cranky.
It looks really good on my screen, you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So another question's coming in. Well, lots of questions are coming in, but I'm
fire away.
Moments. Folks are wanting to know if Rhyme is in this version.
Hannah, take it away.
The hope is to bring Rhyme to this version eventually, but it's one step at a time for us at this point.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid. Okay.
Yeah. I think the team feels like it wouldn't quite be complete without Rhyme anyway. Right. So the goal is to do that eventually.
I gotta say, I played through it like 2 days ago, and it is a beautiful connection to Riven if folks are not super familiar with that. And so it was a lovely way to transition between the two. So oh, that's cool. That's way more intuitive.
Apologies for the frame rate.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Also, for anyone who's watching this, you're actively getting spoilers to how to solve some of these puzzles.
Yep.
So leave now or keep staying, but yeah.
If anybody watching this who attending Mysterium and hasn't played Myst, you're at the wrong convention.
Valid. That's completely valid. I mean, Rand was playing through this last night too, so
yeah, that's why I did that. He solved the same puzzle.
Yep. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Blake redid the clock tower, and
yes.
Now we got like this.
Nice job, Blake.
Awesome gear work up here.
Kelly, thank you for your gasps and oohs and ahs.
Well, this is the first time I've seen that. I haven't played the Quest version, so I've seen some of the screenshots that y'all have posted, but this is all totally new for me. And so just coming at it from a fan perspective, this is freaking gorgeous. There's no acting happening here. These are real responses.
Let's do this. If Anna Cat's checking on the chat, we'll go visit 2 additional ages, and I'll let the chat decide which 2.
Chat decide.
Please. Actually, I have a question about Selenetic just from me. I was playing through, and it's a door question. In Real Myst Masterpiece, the door to the little ship folds outwards, and I was like, you would get smacked in the face if that worked.
No. Wait, in which version?
In Real Myst Masterpiece.
Okay. Yeah, we
well, you want to go open the original door.
It's like the Maze Runner spaceship.
The Maze Runner.
Yeah. Not the regular spaceship.
Yeah, it does a sort of little split mechanism now that doesn't.
Right. Yeah. But it folds outward. And I'm like, you would get smacked right in the face if that
correct. Yeah, there were a lot of I know for people who follow along with game development, doors are a very classic hard problem to solve for almost everyone. And yes, doors flying out at you, doors opening toward you, away from you. What if you step into them while they're opening? It's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And we tried to solve most of the issues that you'd run into. I love the little of course, we don't want doors opening toward you. So
anyway. Right.
I'm trying to move quickly and then stand still to let the image resolve.
I love the little flowers. Sorry. I'm
which one? Oh, let's talk about the flowers, because these are actually completely absent from the Quest version.
Okay, so you got little dandelions there.
I added these flowers way back early on before we had to swallow the bitter pill of what it would really mean to ship on Quest.
Right.
And so it does me so much good to see this stuff in here and to know we're going to be able to ship this to people. I'll go over here by Anna's grave, and we've got everybody on this call probably is there's them blue flowers. Right?
Okay, fun story. Eric put in a prank here about 2 months ago where he had a mass of spiders crawling out from behind the graves.
I have no idea what Hannah's talking about. Nobody listen to Hannah right now.
I was cranky.
I did not like that.
Nope.
Where does chat want us to go next?
Chat wants us to go to Selenetic and Channelwood, and I wholeheartedly agree with those statements. Those are my 2 favorite.
All right, we'll hit. We'll do Selenetic first.
You want to solve the generator puzzle first, probably. But...
Oh, what are you gonna do it the hard way?
Let's do it the legit way. We'll do it the legit way so people can see.
It just means more chunky video feed.
Oh, it's fine. We're gonna be inside here in a minute, and it'll probably be less chunky.
Okay, I'll pause at a couple points along the journey so we can sort of see.
Okay, or alternatively, we could just skip. You could press the 3 button and go right to or 2 or whatever.
Yeah, so that's much smoother.
I'll do we'll do it slideshow style, and I might just skip the puzzle part when we get there.
Yeah.
So this is a real rugged tunnel. We got this cool door down here.
Yeah. the characters. There was a lot of there's a lot of questions coming in about the characters.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, what was the decision process like that? Because all of the other Myst games used either the real actors or a composite of using textures that were actual like actor videos, like
video
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Versus just doing 3D. Like what was the process like for that?
Sure. The decision making around that was not easy.
Right.
Because
I imagine
you know, more than probably any other fan base on earth, the Myst fan base has a special spot in their heart for QuickTime video performances, right? Yeah, there is no way I'm solving this live on stream. This is not happening.
Let's just use the shortcut to get to
Oops. Oh, my finger slipped. Sorry, everybody.
We may end up in an age we don't want to be at, and Eric will just go through the keys.
Oh, crap.
There. Oh no, we're in Stone Ship.
wrong.
I guess we gotta
go. Back to the characters thing. So here's the problem. VR is a big issue. If you are recording flat video of a character and you have 6 degrees of freedom in VR, how does that work? Well,
right.
I can tell you how that works because we did exactly that in Abduction.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah. And we got a lot of flack for our limitations that were surrounding the characters. I mean, we had to put they were either holograms or we had to put, you know, a character inside like a box,
a TV screen.
Or a TV screen, or like, you know,
or
you're
behind a door.
Behind a door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were the kind of solves we had to do, and even then, it wasn't really what we wanted. We wanted a little more immersion, a little more freedom. So we have made the push to do higher fidelity 3D characters. Now, I will say for Myst, this was sort of our first foray into full 3D characters, and the characters that are in Myst we did on a really, really short timetable.
Sure.
I love them. I think they're great, but we've actually even since Myst invested even more into our character pipeline and our future looking projects. And actually later today, in a couple hours, we're going to have both Derek Robinson and Autumn on a panel to talk about art stuff. And those two are like our heavy hitter character people right now.
I met both of them doing their AV checks, and
One more thing I want to say about the character stuff too, that made us go like, oh snap, we really need to do fully 3D characters this time around, is because we had a particular vision for what spoilers everybody, turn like mute me now, for what the prison age looked like. And also what Dunny looked like. It's kind of problematic to walk up to a hologram and Dunny. That is a video.
Right.
Same thing with Prison Age. When you're trapped in a book with someone ripping pages out, you kind of want that to feel like real and like someone is like really outside of the book ripping those pages out. So that's difficult to do with a video, and difficult to get even then are the original actors to redo that sort of work in a way that would make it even look good. So
that's true, because it's been, you know,
it's been
years
30
now,
years. So
you know,
Rand and Robin look a little bit different nowadays.
Exactly. It's totally valid. They sound different. Like they wouldn't even been able to really, you know, re-perform those voices without just sounding different, because, you know, your voices change over time.
Funny thing about that, I believe Rand actually re-performed all of Akinar's.
Did he really?
voice.
I mean, he did briefly last night, which was really funny.
He re-performed it all. I can't recall why exactly.
Oh, that's
I think a lot of the original source audio that we had access to in Myst had the static baked into it.
Oh,
and he had Akinar's was particularly difficult, I think, to kind of like chop up. Anyway, we're in Selenitic, and
I love this place. This is my favorite. One of my favorite. This one and Channelwood are my two favorites.
Yeah, Selenitic. The sort of the objective here was to try to capture that feeling of like a world that has just been pummeled by meteorites and is still sort of in the process of being destroyed. And so it was kind of fun to try to capture the atmosphere and to think about the destruction and
Oh,
the
wow.
coloration and all that. So
I like how the rail's missing there. I'd be like, oh, don't
Yeah.
fall in.
let me get over by the crystals here.
I would like plant myself here when I was in college and just stay there. Oh my goodness. And that's what the age is named after selenite, right? The
Yeah,
crystal?
it's a type of rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying volcanic or,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
selenetic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I believe it's
Also, I
okay.
know the compression's kind of bad, but there are meteorites like
I
flying
did
through
see
the sky.
that's
It's
okay. I
not
thought I
like a
saw one and I
weird-
was like,
yeah.
wait a minute.
It's not a weird error in the game. It's hard
Okay.
to tell because the frame rate's kind of low. But
Sure.
Yeah.
That's very intentional.
Oh, cool.
I want to get into the Maze Runner chamber, but I don't want to solve the puzzle because I ain't got that kind of time.
Is no clip a thing? Can you just kind of pop through the door?
No, I can I could fly in there, but it's not gonna
load it.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Well, how about, are there any other places in Sonic you want to check out, and I'll find the command to open it?
Just the door open is all I'm looking for.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. But yeah,
you want to go to the sound panel or
Sure.
something like that?
Or we could it's already 10:45. We could also jump over to Channelwood as well.
Maybe we should do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Anyway, yeah, that you can kind of see what the theming of this age is. Heavy atmosphere, lots of volumetrics, lots of stuff being in kind of a smoky, obscured state. So
it's beautiful. It's very well done.
All right, I'm going to guess and say that the 4 button will get me there. We'll see.
I like the loading screen of the book.
Yeah,
oh, nice job.
One of our artists did the loading screen and just nailed it.
Yeah. Do the pages actually say something into me, or is it just kind of?
I think they do, but it's not legible. So.
Oh no, yeah, but it's fun that they actually like did that part.
All right, let me go over here by everyone's favorite windmill. So Channelwood, this one is kind of special to me as well because of how far we were able to bring it from the Quest version to the PC version. So if anyone here has played the Quest version, you probably thought Channelwood was mighty underwhelming. Oh, I just walked past the frog. Oh, frog jumped in the water. Sorry.
Sorry.
It was underwhelming, and I felt the same way. And it turns out that rendering an entire explorable forest on a cell phone that you put on your head is really difficult. And so we had to strip back a lot of the foliage and stuff. So for the PC version, we were able to jump back and do like the level of fidelity that we really wanted. So I don't know if it's coming through, but like it's filled with foliage and
is very rich. Yeah.
Articulated tree stumps. And I was able to do like this fun swampy sort of,
the water lilies and the
it has sort of like an undulating motion to it, and the fog. I love the volumetrics in here. We were able to really make it feel like a dense thick
misty swampy thing. Oh, interesting. So you made that makes more sense for VR. You don't have to crouch by making
this was one
levers.
of the exactly.
Okay.
So one of the things that we had to consider for VR again was like we have what we call like an interaction range, which is literally a box around like your torso that things are easily reachable if you're either standing or sitting. And we had to accommodate all of our interactions into that range, and which meant that these iconic valve controls, which in the old game you would somehow reach from like 8 feet away, and we had to come up with a way to do that. And again, in line with our sort of like mantra of like, let's make everything mechanized, we added just simple handles.
I love it. I think that's
you can't hear it, but it's making like a squeaky rusty sound.
Oh, nice.
Let me just super quick get up to the next level and show some huts, and then we will jump over to the editor for brief. That'll be a short segment,
but it's going to be fun.
Sorry for the frame rate, everybody.
It's okay. It's gorgeous.
So I can now hear the water running through this.
Nice. So how have I know you like to play in water shaders.
I hate water shaders. No, I mean I hate them. I'm not even joking. I hate them. They're the worst.
Valid. All right. So yeah, so that sounds like they're an enormous challenge.
Yes, exactly. They're an enormous challenge, and they're enormously finicky. But go ahead. Ask your question, because I don't want to.
That was the question. Just kind of talk about the water shaders a little bit.
Sure. It's less the water shaders. I actually quite love water shaders. The thing that's frustrating is the way certain types of translucency are handled in the Unreal Engine is notoriously difficult to work with, and it also it takes a big chunk out of our performance budget.
Got it.
And so that was one of the things between Quest and PC that was a big change. Was I was able to actually do like nice looking oceans and stuff for the PC.
Yeah.
So everybody's favorite tree city up here.
Yep.
I'll try and
this is going to be terrifying in VR. I know I'm not fond of heights.
Yes. Especially these bridges where there is no handrail. It's a little harrowing. Yeah.
That one's going to be gnarly. Oh boy.
We'll get a couple more little shots here, and then we'll jump over to the editor.
Yeah, no worries.
And we still need to have some time for our special ending segment too. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The special thing. Lots of folks are asking about, will there be node-based movement in this version?
Not at release, no.
Okay.
Yeah, not in 2D for sure. In VR, you will have teleport, which some people call that node-based movement. But there won't be like preset nodes like there were in we shipped Abduction with that, right?
We did. It's possible we might ship with that in Myst eventually, but just not at our initial release.
Got it. So maybe an update at some point, but not. Oh, day-night cycles. Are there day-night cycles in here?
No day-night cycles. No.
Okay.
All right. Should I jump over to the editor?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the actual editor. So let me know if my frame rate is just awful, by the way.
It's about the same. So
okay.
Can see stuff.
So basically, anybody who's seen Unreal demos before probably understands what's going on here. It's the game, except it's in sort of like, editor form, so I can manipulate things. And this is Myst Island. Just wanted to show like a little bit about how some of this stuff gets built. The way, rock piles get piled together.
Cool. It gets wet as it approaches the water.
Yeah. So that's part of the water shading system, is that we can tell certain objects to be aware of the water level, so that if I wanted to build, like a rocky outcropping out here, I could plop this guy in the water, and it would automatically moisten as the water laps over it.
Okay, that's really cool.
Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay. We won't delete anything just to be safe. Let's see. We only got a few minutes, so
who's that?
Who's that hanging out?
Who's that? Here? Oh, there's a person there.
That?
It's Rand. It's Rand. It's Atris. He looks like Rand. This was just so. A few months ago, a bunch of us, I think it was a Friday afternoon, we were in Slack chat, and we were feeling a little punchy, and we started throwing together assets, and we ended up accidentally making like a Dark Souls boss in Engine with our characters. And I thought it might be kind of fun to just goof around and show you guys, like, maybe we could wreck Myst Island real quick. So I am going to scale him up a little bit.
You should turn the fog so that it's like super red everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Just like nasty, evil.
There we go. So this is
his
hair is a little broken. His hair is hanging out of here. So yeah, it would work in game, but because we're in editor. All right. And then you wanted red. Let me see if we can do that fairly easily.
Yeah. Is there actually a reason for all the fog? Is it just kind of an aesthetic thing, or
just an aesthetic choice? Yeah, I mean, the game's called Myst, and it was, in the original, if you look at the original shots, like the fog was used as like a sight obscuring thing, and so it's really just a nod to that.
Okay. Ooh,
Oh.
That's very good.
Crank up our fog density.
Are there any other questions we can answer before we do
please
the
answer.
video?
Let's see.
Eric and I will both be in panels later too, I think, right, Eric? Are you going to be in the art? Okay, so
I'll be in the art one.
Yeah, we're happy to answer questions later too, in case we don't get around to some.
Let's see. Already asked that one. So in VR mode, there's different types of VR systems. There's Oculus and there's the Vive and blah blah blah. There's different types of controllers. So, sorry. How does that work? Is there any specific differences you have to do for the different types of controllers?
Well, for sure, yeah. The Vive ones don't have a thumbstick on them.
Right. Okay.
Additionally, they have some different placing for their grip buttons. Whereas the Oculus controllers are a little bit more like tactile, so to speak, with the thumbsticks you can use. So methods of navigation are a little bit different between the two, but all of the VR controllers we do support will be able to do, like, you'll be able to play the game the same way effectively. Yeah.
Nice.
This is one of Akinar's crossbows from Mechanical.
Oh, nice. And then somebody's asking about if there's plans to bring it to Linux.
Not at this time, no. At this point, we're just focusing on the heavy hitter platforms, like PC and Mac for sure.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Clemus wants to know if there's more Denis writing elsewhere in the game that he can play with.
Yes. Let's look at the fountain, Eric.
The fountain. I don't think.
We
used to have some. Yeah, it's not on there anymore. Because I think if I remember correctly, we had early on, we had some Dunny writing on things.
You had some in the library.
If you look, I'm sure some people did, they went and did the translate. It literally said Mist and Ribbon, and it was just random. Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. We had to pull that out.
So it's 10:57. Should we move on to the?
Yeah, we should probably talk about the video thing. Anyway, hopefully this makes people want to play the game. I don't know why this part would, but
I mean, users need to be aware that we won't be able to do that. This is just for fun.
Someone get a screenshot of that.
Honestly, without the crossbows and the hat, it looks like he's doing some business into the library. So.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
He's sitting on the stone throne there.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everybody. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing, and we can talk about the little surprise.
Oh my goodness, that was fun.
Hannah, do you wanna give the context of this?
Sure. Is this the longer one we're showing?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a sneak peek look at some areas in Myst, some of them that Eric already just showed to everybody. But it's right now, I think it's just an unlisted sort of hey, Mysterium peeps, here's a little peek at what the game looks like in some areas.
Let me try some context on that. We have an early cut of the trailer of the PC version of Myst, which shows the latest and greatest stuff. We did a super cut for Mysterium. We wanted to play it on the stream just to show everybody, but with the Zoom call and we're all in disparate areas, we can't play it back smoothly because
it didn't work.
Yeah. What
we have 1 minute, by the way. We have 1 minute.
Okay, so Anna-Cat's going to start dropping links in, I believe. Well, Kelly, you can speak.
I'm dropping it in Discord right now. Con chat. There it is.
It's an unlisted video. I don't know if we're ever going to just post it publicly, but you guys, Mysterium attendees, have a look at it, enjoy it. I apologize to Hollister Starrett, who did the music, and we sort of hacked and slashed it and copied it. But it shows off the game, and this isn't a real trailer. This isn't something we're probably ever going to show as official marketing or anything. So,
but we get to see shiny things because here and we're special.
Shiny things are important. Yes.
I love that. Okay.
Otherwise, I just want to say like thank you so much to everybody watching, all the Mysterium attendees for being like, I'm not even joking, like literally the best fan base of any.
I was gonna say that.
Stole it right out from under you, Hannah. Jump in, jump on, pile on, help me out here. It's
true. Y'all are the best. Thank you. Just thank you for all of your support always. It means a lot more than you know, I think.
Yes.
So.
Oh, well, yay. That's awesome. We are getting requests for Hannah to please pet your dog.
Okay, there we go. She has been pet.
Thank you guys so much. This was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so we have a quick half an hour break, and I'm sorry, my webcam is all janky. I'm gonna call the company about it and yell at them. But yeah, we have a half an hour break, and then we're going to dive into, what is the next panel? The programming panel is the next one. So yeah,